Hey, welcome to Film Fan. This is a quick episode where I'm going to discuss the latest news about Warner Brothers deciding to release film titles in the movie theaters simultaneously while also releasing via streaming platform HBO Max. We'll get into it really quick on Film Fan next. Hey, welcome to Film Fan, my channel where I discuss all things film and film related. If that is also your thing, hit that subscribe button if you haven't done that already, along with the notification bell so you know when I put up new content. So HBO Max is going to be streaming content from Warner Brothers. That was the announcement. That was the latest news on the movie theater thing. This is the latest fallout from the COVID situation and movies not being released in theaters. So I want to talk about it really quick because it's on my mind and it's something I wanted to discuss and just share my thoughts with you on a couple of things regarding this. One, I miss the movies still. I miss the feeling of everyone being in a theater and that regular release date schedule of movies being put out and looking forward to seeing a movie and then just knowing you're going to go to the movie theater and see it. I kind of miss that. The last movie I saw in the theater was Tenet. I saw it twice. First time I saw it, the theater was maybe 10 people in there, 10, 15 people at the most. Everyone was spread out, so there was no real fear of anything COVID-related there. Second time I saw Tenet, I was in the movie theater by myself. It was totally empty, so worked for me just fine. Shit, I mean, whatever. My point here in this discussion is, I'm a big movie theater person. I love going to the movie theater and seeing a film on the big screen. I love the anticipation, the buildup, knowing that a big movie's coming out, seeing all the trailers for it, watching the trailers 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 times, and then that movie hits the theater and you get together with friends or whoever, or I go by myself and I get in the theater, sit down, have my popcorn, my Twizzlers, my bottle of water. I'm sitting in the exact seat I want to sit in. I'm ready to go. The lights start to come down. The trailers start to pop up. You see some really good trailers and you start to think about those and when you're going to see that movie. You see some shitty trailers. You're like, why the hell did they make that movie? And you just sit there and then finally the lights really go down and then your movie starts. And it is just an experience. Even if the movie sucks, the build-up for it is fun. I love it. I love the whole experience. I love being around other people. As much as I like being in the theater sometimes by myself and having that experience, I love being around people. There's nothing that beats that feeling of everyone laughing at a comedy together, everyone being thrilled by a thriller together, an action film, and enjoying, or a love story, or sadness or something. It just feels good, and I miss the movie theaters. I did a whole video on missing the movies prior to me going to see Tenet when everything was closed down. I was really depressed, but with some optimism, hopefully things are getting back to what they're going to get back to, hopefully by next summer. But the decision by Warner Brothers to release content, big content, Wonder Woman 1984 is being released December 25th on Christmas via HBO Max. It's also being released in the theaters as well, just to put that out there. But it is going to be released on HBO Max. But you've got Matrix 4 coming out. You've got Dune is coming out. I can't watch a movie like Dune or Matrix 4 or John Wick 4 or John Wick 5. I can't watch these movies at home. That's part of what this discussion is about as well. I want to talk really quick the difference between seeing something in the movie theater and how you're watching it at home. Now, on another note, I did a video maybe 2 or 3 episodes ago on the difference between streaming 4K content versus owning a physical disc, a 4K Blu-ray, and which one is better. You can check that video here. I'll put a link in the description up there or down in the comment section below, and you can check that video out. But, there's a huge difference. I remember being in I was in my cigar shop when Dunkirk came out. I'd seen Dunkirk, and maybe it was months later when it was already out streaming. And a gentleman had a discussion with me about how he hated Dunkirk, and he saw it on his iPad. And right away, I was like, look, man, you can't have a discussion with me and you didn't even go to the theater and see a movie like that. It's an epic, it's a big screen production. It is filmed a certain way. It's meant to look a certain way. It's a visual spectacular. You don't watch it on your iPad and then tell me that you got the same experience that I got when I went to see it in IMAX. You just didn't get the same experience. People can argue with me about that. You can say that the film sucks either way. Like if you hated the story and you didn't think it was compelling and you weren't drawn to the story, I guess it doesn't matter if you watch it on your phone or you watch it in the theater. However, I will say that there are films that are not necessarily about the story. They're not about that. They are about the visual experience. Gravity is one of those films that comes to mind. I'll talk about that on this channel at some point. But Dunkirk is a more recent one that stands out. And having that discussion with the guy I just thought was ridiculous. So it brings me to what I'm talking about here in this episode. With all the streaming content that's available now through Disney Plus, Apple, Hulu, whatever, take your pick, and now HBO Max with Warner Brothers titles being released, you're going to want to evaluate your home theater setup. You're going to want to take a look at what you're working with. You're going to want to take a look at what you got. If you went out and snatched TVs up on Black Friday, I hope you got some good shit. Why does everyone need a new TV on Black Friday? Like, what happened to the old TV? Like, everyone seems to need a TV on Black Friday. I just don't get that. But anyway, now's the time to look at your television. It's no longer this thing that's out of reach for you to have a decent home setup, to have a 4K television, have it set up the right way, have a decent sound system, whether it's a full surround complete package with multiple speakers in the walls and in the ceilings and behind you and all around, or if it's just a sound bar that delivers Dolby Atmos and has the same magic. It's an affordable thing nowadays for you to do that. It drives me crazy when I have discussions with people who are watching a movie. They're waiting for the movie to come on streaming, or they're waiting for it to come on cable or something, or to come on, Blu-ray, and that's how they're gonna watch it. And they're watching it on their 32-inch television with the speakers from the TV. I know that sounds snobbish and elitist, and but hey, that's me when it comes to film. And let me just say this. Film is an immersive experience. The visuals, the audio, the way it's put together, the sound effects, editing, all of this stuff is part of the experience of enjoying film. Now, I'm a film fan and I'm a fanatic about it. So yeah, I'm going to sound like that to people who don't give a shit about these things. But I think to the lay person who wants to get more out of their experience when it comes to watching movies and who doesn't want to get more, I just want to convey this message to you. Evaluate your system. Take a look what you've got. If you're going to be doing a lot of streaming and it's going to continue over the next God knows how long, we're going to be, I don't think it's going anywhere. I don't think streaming is going to be ending even if we go back to the movie theaters. You should really evaluate your home setup. Take a look at what you got. This is not a channel where I do reviews on home equipment, on receivers and speaker systems and Blu-ray players and what the best televisions are. I might just do an episode though where I talk about your setup and make some recommendations to you and give you a little bit of information and tips and guidance on a proper setup, or what I would consider a proper setup for you. So I might do that in the future, but for now, I'm just giving you a little bit of tips, a little bit of guidance, casual layman advice. Check your system, check your television, check your connections, make sure everything is done right, make sure everything is calibrated right. A lot of people don't know this shit. It's not your fault. There's a lot of people who get televisions, throw them up, they don't calibrate them, they don't deal with the right cables and HDMI to HDMI, in, out, ARC this, ARC 2, what's this, what's that. They don't really worry about all that stuff. They just put it on and let it play. So I tell you now, to get the most out of your home theater enjoyment, take a look at your television. Ask people who know. You can go on YouTube. You can search tons of other channels that specialize in that stuff, and you can find out what the best Blu-ray players are, what a great receiver is, what a great speaker system is, a great sound bar, affordable sound bars, what the best way to connect it is. You can go ahead and do that. So I'm telling you, as a film fan, as a person who's got a lot of passion for this, go ahead and take the time and invest in your own home setup. That's all I want to say. That's all I want to say. The Warner Brothers thing, I totally get it. I understand. And again, I'm not a streaming fan. I much rather get back to the theaters, and I'm hoping that everything returns to normal sooner than later. But I do understand that they need to recuperate their losses, and they're trying to make up for their losses with this pandemic and everything that's going on, and the lower ticket sales. So, and I support that whole system. I support Hollywood and the people behind the scenes and what has to go into making these movies and how the whole thing works and how the whole system is set up. So it is what it is. It's not always perfect, but it is what it is. And I'm hoping to get back to the theater. But in the meantime, I'm going to watch what I watch at home. And except for Dune, I'm not going to watch Dune. I'm going to watch Dune in the movie theater. It's just me. And I'll talk about it on this channel. But it's going to happen. Anyway, that's it for me on Film Fan. So, if you haven't seen a movie in a long time, and if it's an old movie, whether it's 10 years old, 20 years old, 25 years old, whatever it is, pull it out of the cabinet, go ahead and stream it, look for it somewhere. If you haven't seen it, it's a brand new movie to you, so go ahead and watch it. Lose yourself in the movies, find yourself in the movies, hopefully movie theaters at some point. Enjoy the movies, love the movies. I'll see you on the next Film Fan.